Hello guys, it's Ryan Ho back with another video. Today we're going to talk about the Ifi Diablo. Now the Ifi Diablo puts out tons of power. It actually has a peak of 5 watts, but the continuous power is about 1.6 in the balance and like 2.2 in the single ended. And this is a very powerful type of DAC amp. So they added actually IE match, so you can actually plug in your IEMs with this now, and it's a little bit more sensitive to the lower volume, so it's more usable kind of volume range, which is really nice. They also include a lot more other features over the original one. And honestly, I really like the original one. So this one is upgrade in every way. So it's honestly better. And honestly, the finish on this thing is probably my favorite part. It just looks like more premium type of product. And the other thing about it too is that it kind of has this like heat sink type of look to it. So I think this is just to help disperse like the heat if it gets hot, because of all these kind of line and like increased surface area. So it's a really cool type of design that I really like, the kind of shiny metallic finish they have on it. So yeah, this is going to be an exciting review. And I would summarize kind of what I think about this is it's kind of like a desktop replacement that you can fit in your backpack. I think that's kind of how I would kind of rate this as a desktop replacement DAC amp. Anyways, let's dive into details and take a closer look at this. So when it comes to specs of the Diablo, first of all, it is a balanced DAC amp. It's fully balanced differential. So essentially it kind of cancels noise and stuff like that. So this is a fully balanced DAC amp. And then the other thing is the DAC chip inside of this is a Burr Brown DAC. And then the final thing that I would like to mention is the Bluetooth on this is Bluetooth 5.4, which supports the latest lossless. So technically you can get CD quality lossless, which is 16-bit lossless on this, which is pretty cool. Now, obviously, if you use streaming music, you can get up to like 24-bit lossless, but the fact that you can do the 16-bit through Bluetooth is really nice. And then of course we have the kind of variety of cables it comes with. So you get like a lightning cable right here. You get a charger adapter for this charger right here as well. So you can plug in the charger into the Diablo, charge it. You get the USB. And then we also get the kind of USB-C to USB-C cable that you can just connect this to your PC or your phone to kind of connect. Take a look inside the case. You actually get these brackets that you can use as like feet for the Diablo. And then you actually also have another USB-C to USB-C cable that's shorter as well that you can use to connect to your phone. When it comes to the feet, you can basically put them into any of these notches right here. So you essentially just line it up and then you just slide it down through there and just slide it through. So you have different configurations of essentially where all these points are to kind of plug in the feet. So taking a closer look at the Diablo, you can see that the finish on this thing just looks absolutely incredible. I think that's my favorite part. Like I said, it just feels so premium and so much better of a kind of built amp than the prior one. And honestly just feels so chonky and nice. Like, damn, this is a premium feeling product with a nice metallic silver finish. Like, you definitely feel like you're getting your money's worth with the build. And of course, you can see this button as well. The dial is really nice and tactile and has a nice shine to it as well. So anyways, let's get into like the actual features. So this comes with a 1/4 inch, within a 1/4 inch adapter right here to 3.5. And then we have the XMEMS, which is kind of the new technology for most of the stuff now that can't really utilize it, but there's IEMs coming out that can utilize that. And then we also have the 4.4 Pentacon balance right there. And then we have our different gain modes. So we have the normal, turbo, nitro. Honestly, I don't even need to go beyond normal because it's already so powerful. And the cool thing about this now is it actually has a locking mechanism. So if you push the locking mechanism in, you can't actually turn the dial. So this prevents you from kind of accidentally moving your kind of volume if you didn't mean to, which is a really nice addition to the Diablo. Now we also have the newest addition, which is the IE match on the bottom. So you can kind of choose between, 4.4, which is on, you have the kind of 3.5, and then you have it off. So having the option to kind of choose when you want to apply IE match gives you more volume range, because this amplifier is so powerful that like you need IE mesh in order to use your IEMs, or else it'll just get way too loud in my opinion. So it's really nice that they add this, which kind of allows more devices to be used on this Diablo. Kind of give an example of how much power this puts out at normal gain for my HE6 SDV2, which is basically the hardest to drive headphone out there. I probably only need it at like 50% at the lowest gain. And you can also obviously turn it up a lot more than that. And even then, I probably only use it less than 50% realistically. And you also have, you know, the turbo and the nitro mode available. So you definitely have more than enough power for sure for like any headphone that you want to use on this. So taking a look at the back, we have the USB port. We have the balance port right here. So you can actually connect this as a DAC into another amplifier balanced. Then you also have the coaxial through 3.5. So you can also connect that to other devices. And then we have the kind of the 5-volt power supply. So you can kind of charge this using a USB. Then the USB right here is the one that you connect to either your phone or your PC to pass your USB audio. So it has it separated so you can do both at the same time. So I also did my listening test using the Diana MR and the HE6 SCV2 to do them, because the HE6 is one of the hardest to drive headphones, to kind of get a good look at, you know, how powerful this actually sounds. In fact, the power of the Diablo, it actually came to my attention that this puts out, you know, 5 watts instantaneous, but the actual continuous power was measured to be like 1.6 for the balance and 2.2 for the single-ended watts, which is still honestly more than enough that you like ever need. I barely really get that far with my volume dial. So let's talk about sound. So I listened to it with the Diana MR. This is honestly one of my favorite headphones. It's just super resolving. It makes reviewing DAC amps such a breeze for me. Then we have the HE6 SCV2, and this one also is very detailed, but not as resolving as the Diana MR. So when it comes to the sound of the Diablo, the way I would kind of say it is that it's very neutral type of sound. So you hear everything. It doesn't have like a warm characteristic. A lot of people assume that from hi-fi stuff for some reason, but it doesn't sound that way from my experience. And also, when it comes down to like the bass, the mids, the treble, everything is exactly where you want it to be. It's very detailed. It sounds like a very, very high-end DAC amp, especially when this thing comes at a price of $1,300. It definitely sounds high-end, because the thing I notice about this is when I compared it to other DAC amps that have a little bit more character, this one sounds a lot more cleaner, a lot more resolving. The only place I could say that it doesn't really compare to my desktop setup, I feel like, is the soundstage width. I would say the soundstage width of this is like medium, which is pretty big, but my kind of desktop gear has, you know, a wider soundstage. But besides that, I really can't find a deficiency with it, honestly. Like, it performs exactly how you want a really, really, really premium DAC amp to sound. And I couldn't really say much more about it, except that it sounds amazing, neutral, and very detailed. So when it comes to sound, like pairing with Diana MR is just a wonderful experience. Like, it's able to pull the most out of this headphone. You can definitely hear everything. I actually think, you know, in turbo mode, it kind of puts out a lot more voltage in that mode. So maybe using that might be the best mode for some people. If you're using, you know, a lot more kind of harder to drive headphones like the MR and the HE6 SE, it can take advantage of that. But for a lot of, you know, more conventional headphones, I don't think you can even use your turbo mode, because the second you get up there, the headphone probably get way too loud. So I also tested this with IEM, so the FIO JH5 that I recently reviewed. You set this on the IE match and you're able to play it. So the inclusion of IE match is something that is, like I said, really useful, because on the prior Diablo, I didn't recommend it for IEMs because it would just get way too loud, at least personally for me, because I don't listen to my music. I would say like above, like I listen to around like 75 or lower dB, so yeah. So do I recommend the Ifi Diablo? I definitely do. I think this is a feature-rich DAC amp, and it's honestly an improvement every way over the original one. I think the finish is probably my favorite part. Like, it just looks so shiny and premium. I think the feeling of it in your hand and the look really is just really cool. But besides that, obviously you just have all those new features with Bluetooth, IE match, the locking mechanism. Like, this is a fully featured type of desktop replacement in my opinion. And I really do recommend this because it sounds really good, and I don't think anyone will be unhappy with this DAC amp. Anyways, I hope this video helped you guys. Please like and subscribe down below. Helps my videos out. You guys can check out my other DAC amp reviews. I have a lot of them. I've pretty much covered everything from Ifi, I think, at this point. I also have a lot of other things from like Topping and other manufacturers. So if you guys are interested in those, definitely check those out. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.